Hello, fellow human. I know that some of you are the type to have low expectations. Why? Because it shields you from disappointment, right? It shields you from disappointing others and yourself if you're like, I expect the worst. To all of you who have that, I would like to introduce to you a concept of self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy is when you have an expectation or belief in your mind that makes you self-sabotage because it alters the way you show up for that thing. So, leading eventually to that belief then becoming true in your outer world. So, for example, if I expect already that I'm gonna fail, I might self-sabotage and not study as hard, making that belief true. This also alters how other people act, which is crazy, but it's true. If you expect the worst from a person, they might actually show up as their worst side towards you. This is why it's very bad, ladies, to have bad beliefs about the whole population of men, for example. Thinking all men are evil will lead you to see the worst parts of men and to have the worst parts show up in your reality. So, what can we do about this? Well, when you catch that belief, this means you have to actually become self-aware first and notice your thoughts and your beliefs. But when you notice your belief or expectation, then you write it down. Write down what the belief is. Now we're going to have to learn, where did this belief originate from? You have to hunt down the place where the birthplace of this belief. So, was it your parents? Was it something they told you when your brain was developing? Was it something you saw when you were growing up play out? Was it something later in life? Ask yourself, when was the first time I've ever felt this way? Now that we have the birthplace of that belief, we have to start to rebuke, dispute, challenge, contradict this whole belief by going in a hunt inside of our mind for the opposite truth. So you have to really start contemplating on every single situation that you can think of where the opposite of that was true. Write down every experience you've had where that belief was not true and the opposite of that was true instead. This is a slow transition. When you start doing this, your thoughts become different. Eventually, your thoughts change. And when your thoughts change, your identity changes. This is not an overnight thing, but when you start doing this slowly but surely, your identity changes. When your identity changes, how you show up in the world changes. When how you show up in the world changes, the people around you and your outer reality changes. So everything changes when you start doing this. Good luck.